Hi, it's Garry. Welcome to today's live. I know it's been a while, so looking forward to this one. You have to excuse the hat. Now we're into winter here. It's getting a bit chilly in the morning. Well, by chilly, it's currently 14 Celsius, which is, let me just do my quick Google. 14 Celsius in Fahrenheit. No, not 14, Garry. I don't know, I can't type today. So that's 57 Fahrenheit. Really feeling the cold though. It must be my old age. So, yeah, keeping my head warm. Going to be a short-ish live today. Obviously, with me being not very well for the past few months, for the past few weeks, I'm slowly getting into things. So I'm now back to doing most of my videos. And I thought we'll start with the lives. I'm going to aim for half an hour, 45 minutes, hopefully. But you never know with me. Once I get talking, you can't shut me up. So welcome. Let's jump over to the comments. So Marie, hi from Michigan. Welcome to you. Blonde Scales 1, good evening from Arkansas. John, welcome back. Greetings from New York. Blonde Scales 1, we've missed you. Hope you're feeling much better. Welcome back, Garry. So happy to see you live. So yeah, I am feeling a lot better. So what happened is I have a condition with my heart called tachycardia, which means every so often my heart goes all weird and starts beating really, really, really fast. That happened, it's about 6 weeks ago. Now, I have, in here, it's fitted, I've got what's called an ICD, which is internal cardiac defibrillator. So it's a pacemaker, but it's also got a thing in where it shocks you if things go really, really bad. So, you know, like on the TV things where you see them with the paddles going clear and then shocking, it's actually internal for me. So there's a wire going down to my heart from this device. That went off 11 times in half an hour. So obviously that was an ambulance to the hospital. A couple of days in hospital while they were putting me onto some new medication, which hopefully will prevent it, and which I'm hoping. So far I've not had a repeat. That in itself I recovered fairly quickly from, but what it did is it actually triggered PTSD, and that's really crippled me. So I wasn't able to go out of the house without really having panic attacks. I was having loads of panic attacks every single day. I wasn't sleeping. If I was lucky, I was getting an hour, maybe an hour and a half sleep every night. And my appetite dropped to next to nothing, which in one way was good because I've lost some weight for it. I'm now on medication and that seems to have kicked in. So I've had 5 nights where I've had reasonable sleep. So that's why I thought, yeah, let's get back into the lives. So that's really what happened. Let me just refresh the comments. Oops. So made by Dawn. Hey, Garry, from another Great Barrier Reef in the tropical country of Belize. Wow, we're going quite international today, aren't we? Ron, caps look very fashionable. Greetings from Forest Hills, New York. Blonde Scales 1, my dad just had a pacemaker because his heartbeat gets too slow. He also got a helicopter ride. I've never been in. I'd love to go in a helicopter, but yeah, it's not really something that you want that sort of reason for it. Yeah, I mean, I've had this ICD about 3 years now, so it's actually, it's doing the job it's meant to do, which is really weird because I know what, it does what it's meant to, which is awesome. It was just really, I don't know, I wasn't frightened at the time, but it's in like the aftermath, which has really kicked in and hurt, and well, not hurt, but trying to think. I don't know what the best way to describe it. As I say, it's just, I know it's all in my head, but it's really hard to get out of that. Let's just refresh again. Let's see any more. Made by Dawn, thank goodness you're feeling better. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say we're going to go, over the next couple of weeks, we'll have shorter ones, just as I get back into the swing of things. So, talking about getting into the swing of things, let's go to the overhead view and let's look at the pens I've been using this week. One of the things that I've struggled with for a few weeks is I haven't wanted to write. The first week I didn't write anything, didn't touch my pens at all. After that, again, I made myself so slowly been getting back into it. I'm back to normal now, which is good. So the pen I've been using all week, it's the can't talk today. This is the Visconti Breeze in Blueberry. I think this has actually been discontinued. I did see somewhere that there's been a new low-end model released. I haven't looked at it in too much detail though. This has got a magnetic cap, which is quite nice. Whoops. So if I go there, you can see it's popping on. Downside with this, as I said, I've got a pacemaker and ICD. Can't put anything magnetic near it. So if I was to wear a shirt with a pocket, I couldn't put this in the pocket because of that magnet. May not affect it because it's only a weak magnet, but I don't want to risk it. We've got a cartridge converter. This one's going to be going for clean out. Hopefully there's enough in there to write today. Put that back on. It's got a small nib, a Visconti steel nib there. I like that the section's in the same pattern. The section is just nice. It's wide, but not too wide. So we've got here a Visconti. Oh, it is writing good. Breeze. It's got a broad nib. When I got this, it was 192 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Early Dusk. One of the Inkvent inks. So one of the things I'm focusing on at the moment, up to about 2 months ago, I was focused on using up all the samples I had. I think there might be one left, but for all intents and purposes, they're all gone. So what I'm now doing is I'm focusing on using up the small Inkvent inks, the 12mm ones. So a lot of the inks I'm using are those. And what I'm doing is when I'm selecting an ink, unless there's a very particular reason, I'm making myself use an Inkvent ink, not one of my other inks. Just part of the idea to start running down a list, all the ones which are not really doing much. Anyway, so that's the Visconti Breeze. The next pen, I'm not going to write with this because it's been cleaned out, it's out of ink. This is the Pilot Metropolitan. So this month's theme has been all about Japanese pens. And this is one that I brought in. This was the first pen I got when I got back into fountain pens about 3.5 years ago. Cartridge converter. I believe, again, I'm going back in time now, so my memory isn't as good. I believe it came with one of those silly squeeze converters. But I replaced it with a Con 40. Section on this is a bit thin. I mean, it's a very reasonably priced pen. It comes in at about 39 Aussie dollars, so good price on it. We've got there a steel number 5 nib. This is a Pilot number 5. So that's a Pilot Metropolitan. The ink I had in there was Diamine Red Dragon, and they really went well together. The next pen from Sailor. This is the Sailor 1911 Junior. I believe some parts of the world it's called the Compass and maybe other parts the Prophet, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. Someone described this in the comments as really it's a large pocket pen. It's not too big, it's not too small. Let me just fetch in that Metropolitan so you can see them side by side. So the Metropolitan ever so slightly longer, and maybe if I kind of get there, yeah, ever so slightly, can't get them to sit still, ever so slightly longer, but they're about the same width. Another one, this is a cartridge converter, loads of ink left in this. The nibs are medium fine, it's the nib that lets it down for me, but that's my preference for broad nibs. So we've got here a Sailor 1911 Junior. Medium fine nib. Price for this, 95 Aussie dollars. That's the price now. It was a lot less than that when I bought it, but I tried to quote the up-to-date pricing where possible. The ink is by Pilot, and a Pilot ink and a Sailor pen. Irashizuku. Momiji. And again, this is one of the first inks I bought when I got back into this. I thought when I was ordering this, it was going to be redder than it is. It's more of a pink. So it's still alright, but I was expecting a redder ink rather than what we see here. So that's the Sailor 1911 Junior. We're going to take a big jump in price for the next one. Again, sticking with Japan. This is the Pilot Custom 823. My second most expensive pen now. Beautiful pen, love this. I always seem to have it inked up. I'm trying not to use it as much lately because I want to give some of my other pens a go. But because this was Japanese, this was one that I brought in. I thought, yeah, let's get this one in as well. Vacuum filler, obviously not going to work the mechanism. Slightly translucent, so not sure if it comes over on the camera. You can see the ink sloshing around. Not a lot of ink left in here. And we've got that 14 karat gold Pilot number 15 nib. So we've got here a Pilot Custom 823 with a 14K gold broad nib, Price wise, $547 when I priced it up a few weeks ago. The ink, Diamine, 3 Kings. Loads of shading come from this ink. This is a Midori cotton pad, so it's really nice, like textured paper as well. And this ink looks really nice on here. I think matches the pen quite nicely. So that's a Pilot Custom 823. Next up, we've got from Platinum. So we're going down in price a little bit. This is a Platinum 3776 Century. This is in the Burgoyne colour. Absolutely beautiful. I love the slightly transparent body here. Again, not sure how well that comes over on the camera. So you can just about see the converter inside. So as I said, it is a converter pen. Again, it's one with plenty of ink. I only inked this up about a week and a half ago because the previous pen I had run out. Do you know, it doesn't feel like it's going down properly. It is. The previous pen had run out of ink, and it was either, refill the same pen or go for a new one. So I thought, let's go for this. I don't often use this pen, and when I last used it, or past couple of times to be honest, I was having major flow issues. So I've deliberately chosen an ink which I know I usually don't have any issues with. And so far, this has been working fine, so no problem. So I think the previous times may have been ink related. Again, we've got a 14 karat gold nib. This is the Platinum nib. And this one's a medium. So we've got a Platinum 3776 Century with a 14 karat gold medium nib. Price wise, $288. So quite, compared to the 823, quite reasonably priced. Compared to the next pen, wow, very expensive. The ink, as said, is an ink that I normally don't have any issues with, by Diamine, and it's Ox Blood. And I do think this is a really good combination. That Ox Blood looks really nice in there. I think I may actually carry on just using Ox Blood in this pen going forward. I think it's nice when you find a pen and ink combo that you really like. So that's a Platinum 3776 Century. The last pen is actually by Platinum. Let me just take a mouthful of drink. Poor mouth went dry. The last pen, again by Platinum, Platinum Preppy. So we've gone from expensive pens to a dirt cheap pen, about $8 Aussie. Plastic pen, very, very light. This is the 05 nib. Now, when I bought it, it does come with a cartridge. You can use a platinum converter in here, but me, I've decided I'm going to just eyedropper this. So I use my blunt nose syringe to put the ink in. Around the threads, I put a little bit of silicone grease every so often, and it just works so well. The ink in here Wow, I love it. I've actually put more of that ink in here. When I started the end of the month, when I started using this at the beginning of the month, I only put a little bit of ink in it because previous experience with this, I've not really enjoyed it. But with this ink, I'm absolutely loving it. Sorry. I don't know if it's not my throat, it's my nose. And really liking this. One of the other things I like, the cap it pulls off. We've got a liner in there which helps stop it from drying out. There you go. I like the fact that we've got this transparent section, works really well. There's the nib, steel nib, very small nib. So this is the Platinum Preppy with a 0.5 nib. Price wise, as I said, $8 Aussie. You can't go wrong. The ink is by Herban and it's Eclat de Sophia. Love this ink in here. I am toying with just tipping what's left in here down the sink and putting Diamine Sapphire Blue in here. The reason why I'm toying with that is next month's ink comparison, I'm looking at doing Eclat de Sophia going up against Sapphire Blue. And I'm thinking, can I get them both in the same pen? So that's the reason I'm thinking about it. I might not, I'll see. I haven't started doing my scripting for that yet. But it's just something I'm playing with. But I'm really surprised by this month. I've really been enjoying it. So that's the Platinum Preppy. So they're the pens that I've been using this month. Let's go back over to the camera view. Let's refresh the comments. Where were we? Made by Dawn. Thank you, reviewing Jinhao in a respectable manner. I added quite a few to my collection of 26 pens. I really like Jinhao pens. I've got, I want to say maybe about 30 of them. I've got, coming up, I've got another couple of Jinhao reviews. I've now got, as well as the 9019, I've got the 9016 and the 9013. I'm going to be doing individual, first impressions of them. I think the 9019 is already out, and I filmed both the others. I just can't remember when they're scheduled for. What I'll be doing is later on, it might be next month, might be the month after. I can't remember when I've scheduled it for. I'm looking at a three-way showdown where I'm going to actually look at all three, so the 9019, the 9016, and 9013 all together. Again, not started scripting that. It's just something I'm thinking about for the future, which is good. Really enjoy that because I do enjoy my Jinhao pens, and for the most part, they're really, really nice. Blonde Scales 1, no cell phone in your shirt pocket either. I know that was very hard to get used to. What I've tried to do now is start wearing T-shirts or polo shirts where possible because they don't have a pocket, so I'm not even tempted. Fortunately, most of the time I wear cargo pants or cargo shorts. So what that means is I've got plenty of pockets. So usually I have it in the side pocket on my left-hand side. But yeah, it does take a little bit to get used to. Anita, hi, Garry is back. You've been missed. Thank you. Yeah, I've missed doing these. I know it sounds stupid, but I absolutely love doing the lives. I think they're really enjoyable, and this way to interact is so much better. I know I reply to comments, but getting this nearly live interaction is so good. BJ, Garry is back. Glad to see you streaming. Hello, everyone. Welcome to you, BJ. Made by Dawn. They are some lovely pens. Yeah, there are. I think. Well, we'll see it soon. So coming up on, I can't remember if it's Tuesday or Thursday, is an unboxing of a Jinhao 80. Quite enjoyed that. Shaq MD. Hey guys, welcome to you. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Made by Dawn. I just inked Jinhao 82 with Diamine Grass Green. Yeah, I've not tried Grass Green yet. I've got that many Diamine inks. My wife's put me on a bit of a buy-in freeze at the moment, so I'm not allowed to buy any inks. I'm allowed to buy pens. I was looking yesterday. I've saved up the YouTube money from a couple of months, so I'm looking at some more interesting pens. So I was looking on Apple Boom, and let me just say, I can't remember what the brand was now off the top of my head. I added it to my wish list in Apple Boom. Let's just get in there and we'll see what it was I put in. Wish list. So I'm looking at only possibly, a Delta Dune Reflex pen. Just thinking about that at the moment. And I may partner that up. I like to order multiple pens where possible with an Opus 88 Omar. So just toying with that at the moment as the next purchases over on the for the channel. So if I do, they'll be getting ordered most probably in 2 or 3 weeks after I get the next lot of YouTube money. But after that, I'll order them when they come in, and then I'll film my first impressions. Just turn the mic, then it's more than my mouth. Anita, do you think the Heartbeat nib is better on the Jinhao? So I've only had limited experience with it at the moment. I say mainly I've filmed the first impressions and done some test writing. Liking the Heartbeat nib. I like the way it looks. I think it looks different. My biggest, I'm not going to say worry, but concern is if I wanted to shim, because of the Sherpa, you won't be able to shim the tines, which is what I do with a lot of my Jinhao nibs. I do find a lot of them are very, very tight, so I usually shim them a little bit, and that seems to help with the flow. But yeah, I like the look of it. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, we'll have to have a see how it goes long term. Blonde Scales 1. Let me just refresh the screen. Hasn't even been 2 weeks from my dad, so he's adjusting and still in the healing restricted phase of 30 days. It soon gets over it. And I say, I went 18 months, then I had one issue. I went another 18 months, then I had this major issue. So hopefully your dad will have no more problems. So they work so well, and most of the time when it works, you don't realise it. It's just when you get the full defib, wow, that's so scary. BJ, love, light and health to you, Garry. I hope all is going well for you. We missed you. Yeah, I missed everyone. I say I absolutely love these. Atomic Elf, have the Visconti Breeze medium in lemon yellow. It's very pleasant writer, but so bright. Wow. I haven't seen. I think I saw the lemon. I mean, I think the blueberry's quite bright, so I can't imagine what a yellow one. There's a blueberry again. Very nice pen. It's amazing the steel nibs, and I know a lot of people complain about Visconti nibs. So far, I mean, out of 3 pens I've bought from them, all 3 had fine nibs. Made by Dawn. I'm on art, no by myself, but I'm adding Fountain to my collection. I'm hoping to get the Jinhao 1935. Figure it's going to be a good collecting item since it's a tribute to a China pen. Somebody mentioned, it might be you, but somebody mentioned in the comments a couple of days ago about the Jinhao 1935. So I've now got that on my list for future purchases. Really looking forward to that. Be interesting to see how it goes. A massive thank you to Shaq MD. Wow, that is ever so generous of you. So there's I can never remember what they're called. I think it's a super thanks. Thank you so much. And then he says, for the Opus 88 Omar, thank you so much. I will get that order. Say it'll be a couple of weeks before I order it, but I very much appreciate it. It's so generous. Atomic Elf, so nice, Shaq. Made by Dawn. Thank you, Shaq. Marilyn Gardner, lovely gift, Shaq. So let's swap up. Ted, amazing, Shaq. So let's swap over. Let me just fetch this up. We'll swap over to look at my video review. So I'm not going to go through all the pens, all the videos I've had out. We'll just go with the normal. Get the right button. Screen. Let's make this a bit bigger, shall we? So, my videos in the last week. Last Sunday, we had the Jinhao 82 versus the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. Because they look so similar, I thought that'd be an interesting video. I'd like to try and compare them. And to be honest, if I was given the choice, as much as I love the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, for the price, I think that Jinhao 82, really good value. On Tuesday, it was orange and yellow pens. So this is continuing my series where what I'm trying to do is theme in on specific aspects. So at the moment, I've been looking at colours. Bit of a hard one to do because I don't have many orange or yellow pens. And it was nice to pair the inks with them as well. So it was good exploration, not just of the pens, but of the inks. Then Friday, it was the halftime report. So it's where I talked about how I was going with the pens that I started the month with. Coming up next week, so today we've got my June inked pens. This is where I take a quick look at all the pens that are inked up, but not in my everyday carry. So that comes out 2 o'clock my time, so what, about 5 hours time. Tuesday, I'm calling it the Battle of the Big Pens. So what it is, it's looking at the Jinhao 9019 and going up against the Ranga Model 5. So 2 rather large pens. Just doing a quick comparison between them. On Friday, we've got Jinhao 80 First Impressions. I knew it was coming up, I just got the wrong day. I think that's the white version. I've got a couple of Jinhao 80s. I'm going to be filming later this month a video where I'm going to swap the nib off my Lamy Safari and put it onto one of the Jinhao 80s. So I've got a broad nib on the Safari. I'm going to swap them over and just see what the differences are. Then Saturday, on my Tricky Little Questions channel, we're going to have the June photo quiz. I love doing the quizzes. As part of what really happened to me, I've cut down on the Tricky Little Questions videos. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just doing the quizzes. So I'm doing 2 quizzes a month. Depending how it goes over the next couple of months, I may actually increase doing the quizzes. I may turn it into just a quiz, like a quiz channel, because I really enjoy them. And trying to come up with the 10 questions really lets me do a lot of research and a lot of thinking. And then my book of the week. So for the last 6 weeks, whilst all my health issues have been going on, because I've not been sleeping, I've not been reading, because I've just been too tired. But this week I did get back into it. So I finished off Terry Goodkind's Confessor. That was it was the last in the series about the Sword of Truth, I believe. It was nice to see it come to an end. But the problem is, it's, again, like with a lot of Terry Goodkind books, I've noticed the first 90% is building up. And then in the last 10%, that's where all the action happens. And in a way, I wish it was spread out a bit more. I know I've said this multiple times. Very good, though. Really, very good books to read. So if you're into fantasy, really recommend the Terry Goodkind books. And then, so during the week, I switched over back to my Terry Pratchett. So I'm up to Soul Music now. So here we're looking at Susan, who, as the main character, she's Death's granddaughter. And Death, like he did a few books ago, is taking a break. So she's taking over doing Death's job. I'm only about 20% of the way through at the moment, so I've only been reading it a couple of nights. Again, really enjoying it. I think Terry Pratchett is so funny. It's a shame that we won't be getting any more books from him. But yeah, I love my Terry Pratchett. So I've got Soul Music. After that, I'm not 100% sure. I may go back to Terry Goodkind or I may do another Terry Pratchett. The idea is I'm reading through both of these all the way through, so all the books from each author. I think I'll finish the Terry Goodkind ones first. When I finished his, I'm going to turn over to Terry Brooks. Last year I did read quite a few of his books, so I'm up to Armageddon's Children, so I'll be starting on from there. But that won't be, chance that'll be next year, because there's still quite a few Terry Goodkind books to go through. Let's head back to the camera and go through our comments. Shaq MD, my pleasure. I love watching you chat fountain pens. Thank you. I love talking. Well, as you can tell, you can never shut me up. Santa, hi everybody. Welcome to you. Blonde Scales 1, Great Get Well gift is. Thank you so much. Made by Dawn. Hey Santa. Tranle Hugh. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Hello Garry. Living in Vietnam, and I love your fountain pen reviews. Thank you for the videos. It amazes me. This is one of the beautiful things with YouTube. How many people all over the world we're talking to. Absolutely amazing. To be able to think how international it is. There's me sat here just south of Perth in my what was the games room, my little office, and talking to people in the US, Belize, Vietnam. I'm not sure if anyone's on from the UK, but all over the world. Absolutely brilliant. Blonde Scales 1. I've gotten into the Joe Pickett series by CJ Box. I think, let me make a note of that. Where's my paper? You can see how unorganised I am. Next week's pen I'm going to be using all week. That fountain pen bloke. I'm going to make a note of this to add it into my ones to look at. I like recommendations. Joe Pickett, CJ Box. The other series of books I need to get back into are the Agatha Christie books. I've been, again, over the past few years, I've been slowly reading through them all. The one I'm up to is The Mousetrap. Tran, it's now 8:02 a.m. Sunday in Saigon, Vietnam. Oh, that's not bad then. You're an hour behind us. Again, time zones are funny, aren't they? Let me just refresh. So we've been going half an hour. It's mysteries, not fantasy. One of the things again I like is it's nice to be able to try and get out of the genre. That's part of the reason why I started with the Agatha Christie books, because the genre I normally read is fantasy with the occasional sci-fi. It's nice to challenge yourself by going through into some other genres. Just to try and spread your knowledge. One of the interesting books I read, again, it was last year. It was a series of 3 books. Who was the author? I can't remember. But they were like fantasy, but also mystery. They were set in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and I think it was and it was like the children of a lot of the monsters that we see. So we had Frankenstein's daughter, we had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We had a daughter from both of those. I think there was another one which I'm not sure if it was a werewolf, but there's quite a few of them. I can't remember the name of the author. I've got my Kindle here. Let me see if I've got... So one of them was the Strange... Come on. Here we are. Theodora Goss. So the first one is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. Really enjoyed that. It was quite nice. And they were different. I say there's only 3 books at the moment. Made by Dawn. It's Saturday, 7 p.m. in Belize. So what's that? 14 hours behind. Blonde Scales 1. I think there are 24 books in the series so far. I do like these where there's loads of books, because especially if they're the same character going through, or the same set of characters, you can really get into. That's why, like with the Terry Goodkind and the Terry Pratchett, you get to know and really understand the characters. Marilyn Gardner, 8 p.m. in Midwestern United States. So that's 8 p.m., 13 hours behind. Anita Helton, Tran, what pens you like made in Vietnam? Yeah, that's an interesting question. BJ, I'm reading the Bound and Broken series by Ryan Cahill. Ryan Cahill. Bound and Broken. Let's refresh. Hello, Made by Dawn. Where is Belize? Can I get that up on a map? Let me just see if I can get... No, not easy. I was just seeing if I'd quickly pull up a map, but I can't easily. Got so much going on. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on at the moment. I've got that many buttons to press. Anyway, I've just refreshed the comments. There aren't any more comments. So we've been going just over half an hour. As I say, today I am going to go a little bit slower, but a bit short. Over the next couple of weeks, we will build up. I want to get back to about an hour. Blonde Scales 1, yep, just after 8 p.m. in Central Time. BJ, dragons, elves and stuff, I love it. My favourite fantasy race is an elf. I absolutely love them. The only one where I really struggled with the elves was a book by Raymond E. Feast called Fairy Tale. I first read it when I was about 17, and it scared the bejesus out of me. And I'm assuming that the protagonists were elves. Absolutely scared the pants off me. It was one book where, because it was so, I kept reading until I finished it. I just wanted it done with. I've read it a couple of times since then, not as bad, but yeah, it was quite interesting. Let's do another refresh. And one more time. So thank you all. There's no more comments. I will leave the comments open whilst I play the outro. Another quick comment come in. Great to see you back, Garry. Hope you continue to get some good rest. Yeah, I'll say things seem to be back to normal. I am on, I've got to be honest, I'm about the last 2.5 weeks I've been on medication to help with the PTSD, making a big difference to me. So I'm now sleeping, which is really good. And my appetite's a bit better, which is, again, in a way, really good. So thank you all for your time. I hope you enjoyed this. I say I absolutely love doing these. A couple more comments. I'm trying to keep the comments going. Hi, Anita. Actually, Vietnam made stationery stuffs in Vietnam. Quite boring and just so quality. Is it Chris Steins talks about? And is it maybe Wasky Squirrel? But definitely Chris Steins has mentioned about some papers she got from, is it Walmart, where it's made in Vietnam and how she was liking it. Made by Dawn, thank you, take care. So yeah, thank you all. Hopefully we'll be doing these every week. Blonde Scales 1, take it, don't push yourself too hard, get plenty of rest. Blonde Scales 1, have a great week all. Yeah, thank you all. BJ, rest and write. Just do another refresh. I love answering the comments. So I'll leave the comments while the outro's playing. Thank you, everybody. I've really enjoyed this. I'm glad to be back, and I'll talk to you again soon.